up, YouTube? How you finally living? Let's get it. Your girl Francine. Today is Saturday. Hopefully, we're praying on that. I just had to re-record this whole video again, so let's get into it. Today we're talking about a movie that came out last weekend, I want to say, and has, you know, a very big. It was supposed to be a really big release a while ago. It has been pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, and finally they decided, you know what, let's put the hell out. Let's just put this movie the hell out. Yes, I am talking about Black Widow. If you can tell from the title of this video, because duh. Black Widow is about Natasha Romanoff, who is an Avenger, or was, R.I.P., an Avenger. And if you know anything about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you know sis ain't here no more. She is no longer here. And in knowing that, I was like, wait, so how they making a movie about her? Because she dead. I mean, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Endgame, you wouldn't be watching this video probably. But yeah, I was like, how's she still, like, how is this happening? We having an improper teen type moment where people coming back from the dead, like, what's going on? And apparently this is actually in between Civil War and Infinity War. So this is like a little smidge in between when all that fighting was happening in Civil War and everybody was angry at each other, and before they came together and chaos ensued. Okay, and so I will admit, as a bad Marvel fan as I've been in the last few years, I have not seen any of the TV series. I have not seen Captain Marvel. So I was like, you know what, let me get my Marvel card back so that I can still feel like I am not a bad fan. It's been a rough year. I decided to pay the $30 to watch this movie, and I might regret that. I might regret that. We gonna have to cut back on the Uber Eats to save up for the fact that I have not just paid for this movie. And you know, this, I'm not gonna give too many spoilers. I'm not gonna talk too much about exactly what happened, the detail by detail that I do in most of my movie reviews. It's kind of gonna be my thoughts, kind of in the ether, because I literally just watched this movie. I literally just turned it off and came in here and set up these lights that are glaring in my glasses, Jesus, and starting to make this video. So essentially, on a too long didn't read type level of synopsis review, I say it's alright. Like, it's not my favorite Marvel movie by any chance, but it's not my least favorite. There are plenty of movies that are worse than this. Nah, I mean, not plenty, but there's a few that are worse than this. And so on a scale of 1 to 10, if I'm gonna start off with the scale, I'm gonna give you a 7 out of 10. It's not bad, it's not great, it does its job. And honestly, I kind of feel like this, because I've essentially going to see almost every Marvel movie in theaters when they first came out, except like 4 of them. I didn't go and see this in theaters because Georgia, I don't trust them. Okay, I don't trust them yet. So I did this in my house, and honestly, I don't really know if this would have been a fun movie to go see in theaters. I think with the IMAX and like the sound, it would have been fun. But I think this was a chill movie to watch in the house. I think this was a pretty good movie to watch in the house. Like certain Marvel movies, it's like being in the theaters, you feel like you're in it and you're connected to it and you need to be. But this one is, it's a kind of a, you know, chill movie. It's not too intense, right? There are fight scenes, which I very much enjoyed. I enjoyed the fight scenes. It's kind of one of my favorite parts of this movie was the fighting. But yeah, I think this is a good movie to watch in the house. I don't think it was really worth going out and about with y'all non-vaccinated folks out there. So let's get into kind of my thoughts of the movie and why I give it a 7 out of 10. But first, if you are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you like what you see. And if you're not new and you've been around for a minute, you know I try to do the best I can to make the best content I can for y'all. And if you want to share it with somebody, let someone else know what I'm doing, I really appreciate you. So let's get into the review. So without giving too much detail, I think one of the things that I did enjoy about this movie was the storyline, the family dynamic that was set up in this movie. If you know anything about Natasha Romanoff's background, you know she was a Russian spy. That's something that has been hinted to pretty much predominantly throughout her storyline in the Marvel universe. You know that she didn't really have a family. She was stolen from her family, and you kind kind of understand exactly what happened somewhat. You know, we learn about her upbringing when, you know, she was younger, how she had a family that wasn't really her family. Not to give too much. And honestly, out of everything in this movie, I did enjoy the family dynamics that happened in this movie. I thought it was that kind of gave the comedy to it. It kind of gave the emotional parts to it. But unlike with certain other movies where there's a family dynamic or there's close friendships that kind of get broken, this one you can it's kind of hard to know who really cares about who and if they really do care sometimes, which is one of my little gripes I have. I also, like I said, I enjoyed the fight scenes. The fight scenes were good. However, one of the other gripes I have is S.H.I.E.L.D should be dead by now. S.H.I.E.L.D should be dead by now. Like when you watch something like, you know, Black Panther or you know, Captain America, or like those people who have powers or like strength and like they're able, or they're gods like Thor, and they get beat up and like messed up really badly, you're like, oh god, but you're not like assuming they're gonna die. Like Sis has no powers. Sis is just her. She literally got into a car accident where her car flipped into the subway. There was no internal bleeding. Nobody was coughing up blood. We were just all like, okay, let's run. Like I know I'm supposed to dispel belief. This is obviously a comic book, but like she a normal person. Like she not a superhero technically. She just a normal person. Okay. Okay. That was one of my gripes because I was like, Sis should have been dead before even the good part came. But anyway, one other thing that I did like about this movie was the you know, the connections it has with, you know, kind of giving her own backstory, but also referencing the rest of the story, which most of the individual stories do, and kind of connecting them together and how they all entwine together, how her story got her to here with the Avengers and how her story defected her from her family and those people that she had when she was younger. But one thing I did not really like about this movie, and again, not to give too much information out, was the build up to the suspense of what the ending was going to be. Did not pay off, in my opinion, to what it should have. It didn't. I felt like it had a story that it was telling, and then the story kind of just like, in a lot of movies where, you know, you dragged out the story, you're finding a lot about like what this person's intentions are, what they're doing, and then it just all wraps up in like 10 minutes. And it's like, happy ending, woo! And it's like, I don't think this really, like it seemed like, you know, you have the evildoer's monologue where he pretty much gives you the whole story of his rise and origin and how he ends up doing what he does, and he tells her literally everything, which is one thing I never understood in movies, why the villain tells the hero everything. Like, dog, you could have just killed them. Like, okay. But he tells her everything, and then she somehow, some way ends up getting out of the situation, and cut ending. Like, and that happens in a lot of Marvel movies, because I think, well, not a lot, but some Marvel movies where it's like, you know, it doesn't resolve itself in the pace that I would think would make sense, because there's a whole like hour and 45 minutes lead up to the ending, and the ending just like, to me, was like, oh, okay. Another thing that I saw in this movie that I don't know if I like or not is I believe, and I can't see how anyone can see that this is it, the social commentary that is wrapped in the idea of this certain type of people who don't have control of their bodies, and why it's those type of people that don't have control of their bodies. I could definitely think that's intentional. Yeah. Gonna go out on a limb. And I think that's an interesting detail, and I think that definitely gives you something to talk about. They didn't really flesh that out too much either, but I think that it was hidden in there. Another thing I like, it has the guy from Stranger Things and the girl from The Mummy. Where did she come from? Oh my god. Like, I was like, oh, that's the girl from The Mummy. What's up, girl? And another thing I realized is like Scarlett Johansson was the weakest link in this movie, and it was her movie. There was another part of the movie that I didn't like. It was like I cared way more about the stories of everyone else besides her. She did not. She wasn't a great main character, in my opinion. Fight me if you want to. I don't know if it's because Scarlett Johansson's acting is kind of, what's the word I'm gonna use? She's there, you know, she says her lines and they're convincing. That's it. But everyone else seemed to be more in tuned into their characters. Seemed like they were, and I don't know, maybe that's the point of Black Widow, because that's kind of how she's acted it throughout. She hasn't really had that much of a charismatic personality, to be quite honest, in this whole movie. But then I realized I don't think she's been in any movie where she had a charismatic personality. So maybe that's just her. Y'all let me know. I might be putting a like hot take in here and like in the middle of this video, but I was like, I mean, did we have to make a movie about her? I kind of want to know about the other girl, to be quite honest. She seemed more interested. Anyway, so the point being, I definitely wouldn't say this is my favorite movie. I'm happy I didn't go to the movie theaters to see this, but I'm not happy I paid $30 for it. So y'all better watch this video again and share it and subscribe, because I did this for you, okay? And I'm gonna share this, like, if you know me personally, ask me for my link, I will let you watch this movie. Somebody else has to watch this so it could be worth it, okay? Anyway, with that being said, that is my thoughts on Black Widow. Like I said, if you want to go out and have a good time with your friends and maybe watch it, it'll be a good time. I wouldn't spend too much money. I wouldn't spend the $30. If you want to wait until it goes on Disney Plus for free, I think that's in November, maybe do that. Maybe do that. But that being said, I will be hopefully having a video up tomorrow. I have a video that I've been procrastinating putting up, so it's gonna be old, but it's still good, so look forward to that. And like always, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, suggestions, you know, just want to talk, what's up, how you been? I like talking to y'all in the comments, you know what I'm saying? Y'all be having good conversations even within yourselves. I'll be like, oh shoot, y'all having some fun in there. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button, again, hit it, push it up to the limit. Okay, sorry. It's late. I had a couple glasses of wine, so let me go back to that, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.